was the debut of new music from renowned composer and flautist in Vancouver. The piece is called Autumn Harvest. It was recently performed at the Dr. Sun Yat-Sen Classical Chinese Garden in Chinatown in celebration of Asian Heritage Month. And now we have the composer of the piece with us, Yong Sun, or Shen Yong in Chinese. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So, we heard about that amazing performance that you gave recently in Chinatown. There was so much joy emanating from that performance. What was it like for you?
Well, I was very excited. It's nice to be back to play with my partners. They get the good feelings on the stage.
Yeah, because you haven't performed in nearly 20 years,
Something
right?
around
yes. there. So what happened? Can you give us a little story of
Well,
why
I
that
had
happened?
two accidents. The first one was in year 2002, and that one was hit really hard from behind. So I
a car accident.
Yes, yeah. Car accident. I didn't realize that was that serious, but a year later I had a vertigo problem. Then just in year 2005, I get hit again. This time, although it didn't hit that hard, but my physical, conditions completely changed. And I lost my hearing on the right side, and I had a neck problem, all the issues, and the vertigo just come out of control. I throw up all the time, and I was completely disabled. So I could not. I was a school teacher, and I had to quit my job, on disability, and could not perform at all. I could not bring my instrument on my hand, because if I play, my tinnitus or tinnitus like crazy, and I will feel dizzy and my neck hurt, all kind of thing.
Right, but music has been such a part of your life, your whole life, and we're seeing these wonderful photos of your childhood. Can you take us back? How did you start playing music?
Well, my mom is a very good musician. He's the first.
And there she is. We can see her in the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, she's first-class pianist in China. She works for the National Opera, and she works there for all her career. And but I didn't plan to be a musician. And those days, in China, everybody busy. So during Cultural Revolution, when I was 13, there was no school, and it was a mess. So I just picked up the bamboo flute, and my brother taught me, to fingering. So I just learned all myself pretty much.
Wow. And
I joined those days. The kids get together to play music and dance together, had some entertainment. The idea is to promote the revolution, promote the cultural revolution, promote Chairman Mao's leader, the party, or whatever. Everybody joined it to play, so we had some entertainment. As I started with the bamboo flute. When I was 18, I was borrowed to the local, professional art group. So I played there, and even I soloed on the stage. So, and I thought, why not? I learned something on music. So I wrote a letter to my mother, and said, why not? I learned something since I lost my old education. I had elementary school education. My mother said, okay, I want to study oboe. But in China, whole China, no oboe instrument was available, and made by plastic. Everything is no wood oboe available. So my mother told me, I know a best flutist. If you can study with him, and I said, why not? Yes, just study flute first. So when I was 19, I went back to see my mother, and she introduced me to my former teacher. He was a gold medalist internationally, the best player in China. So he was sympathetic. I studied with him. So 19.
Wow. And so how did you end up in Boston?
Well, in China it was a revolution, because when I auditioned for the Central, how can I translate the Central Symphony, National Symphony, I auditioned in, and they thought my politically not, family background not good enough, so I was kicked out. Then later, so I became before I left China, I became a mechanical drawing teacher. I run the lathe. I used to be a lathe runner, a worker. I completely gave up my flute. I thought, no career anyway. So, but at the age of 30, so one of my classmates, he went to the United States. He told me it's possible you go to United States to study. So I had no background. I didn't have high school, practically. So I picked up my instrument, so the flute again, and made a cassette recording, applied for everywhere. And finally in Boston Conservatory, my teacher took me. I was very basic, but my teacher thought I had good feeling, so he took me. So I went to the Boston Conservatory. So I studied very hard there, and at the fourth year, I participated the Pop Sax competition. In my third year, I participated too. I didn't get anything, but fourth year I got second place. Wow. I get it. And then UBC, I applied for UBC. UBC was impressed, so offered me a fellowship. So I came to Canada.
And what has music meant to you in your life? Because, you talked about that incredible journey, and you've had some tough times, particularly during the Cultural Revolution in China. What has music meant to you?
It means, a lot. First of all, entertainment, that made me happy. Second, I didn't have to do so much hard physical work, right? Because I joined to the group, I perform. When you perform, you have to give me some time to perform, right? We have to practice. So I avoid some very heavy physical work. That's part of it. And the bamboo flute, especially, when I'm doing, learning the regular flute, bamboo flute always gave me, actual performance.
When is your next performance?
I think it's going to be end of this month. I think it's the 31st. I think it's May 31st for the composer Zhang Jin organized. I cannot remember exactly how it's called.
Okay, we're going to have to Google that. We think it's at the end of the month, but until then, will you tie us over and will you perform one of your beautiful compositions on your bamboo flute for us today?
I think I'm going to play a theme. I wrote a song.
Okay.
I wrote a song, and only part of it. And it's a song. I enjoy playing on the flute.
Okay, we'll let you take it away, please. Stunning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us.
Enjoy being here.